Hello, my sweet friend. It's Christina, and welcome to a new episode of the Art Cake Coach podcast. Hello, my sweet friend. I am Christina Revalo, cake decorator, coach, and teacher, and I am here to empower my fellow cake artists to be creative and to work together as a tight cake community by providing information and opportunities for all, regardless of their level of expertise and knowledge. If you are a cake artist, cake decorator, baker, or cake enthusiast and want to be coached for success, this podcast is for you. Let me help you set achievable goals, understand that managing your time, having a positive mindset, understanding your customer, selling, using social media for your cake business, and knowing how to teach your craft are all as important as flour, sugar, and eggs. Let me share with you what has worked for me, all from a very personal and down-to-earth perspective. I want for you to put your name out there, not to be stressed with time and working hours, and to participate in cake collaborations and competitions, so one day you will be that cake artist featured in a cake magazine or teaching at international events, just like me. Welcome to the Art Cake Coach podcast. Well, hello, my sweet friends, and welcome to another episode of the Art Cake Coach podcast. Christina here. So happy to have you back. The first day now, today's the 5th actually, but it's the first podcast episode of the month of December 2023. I cannot believe the year is almost over. I'm going to keep saying that this month probably, but it was fast. We keep saying this every single year, but it's true. It's actually, I feel that it was quite fast. A lot happened this year, but at the same time, a lot fell into place this year. It's been an interesting one, but we're going to talk about that in another episode, probably one related to goals and goal setting for next year. So today we're having a very different episode. Very different. It's not very different from what I'm used to, but very different from goal setting or mindset. Actually, it has to do a little bit of mindset, but it's not related to social media because we've been talking about social media a lot. But it has to do with everything, all of the above, as we can put it as an option. I wanted to talk to you today about creative blocks. Why? Because I'm currently passing one, and it's been quite a roller coaster for me, being in this position, not with the podcast, but mostly with my creative work, cakes and collaborations and sugar paste pieces, and it's been going on for a while now, and I just start me being me, I just started investigating like what's going on, what's happening, why do I feel like this? And talking with other cake friends, I realized that a lot of us suffer from this. It's a creative's world thing. I mean, if you do anything creative, if you're an artist of some sort, you're probably been there, done that. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this today and share with you what I'm doing to get out of this creative block that I'm currently at. And this is what the episode is all about today. Before we start the episode, we have some announcement and some things that I would love to share with you. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere, because our episode is almost here. Well, in today's announcements, I just want to share with you something really fun that Spotify shares. If you are a Spotify user or member, I'm sure you got one of these reviews of 2023, which I love. I got mine last year from the podcast and I love it. And this year is no difference. And I just wanted to share with you a few highlights of this year's resume from Spotify, which has been a little bit of a surprise for me, but a happy surprise, and just happy that the podcast keeps growing and more of you guys are benefiting, are getting benefit from what I say here in the podcast and from the guests that I have. My promise to you is next year I would love to bring more guests into the show. I'm working on it, promise. So stay tuned for another year of the Art Cake Coach podcast because it's going to be amazing. But this year, there's a lot to celebrate. currently number one episode, still has been since day one we released it, is the Talking with Portia Kimball about cake business and much more. Portia, congrats to you because you made this episode so special that's still number one of the episode. 81% of our listeners started listening to this podcast in this year 2023. So welcome to all of you who are new and who are now part of the family. Episode number 46, Selling with Love, Secrets to Price and Sell Your Cakes, actually conquer most of the new listeners. So I guess you want to listen more about pricing. So we're going to be talking more about pricing next year for sure. Let's see if you can guess where is the country that most of my listeners are. And the country is it's UK. Thank you so much. I mean, you're bearing with this Venezuelan girl with an American accent talking to you guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I love you too. So thank you for being here on the RK Coach podcast. The rest of the country's top 5 are USA, Philippines, Italy, and Germany. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. I cannot believe there's people in all of these countries that are listening to me. So thank you for listening. You are the best. We have some more. Let me see. I'm just trying to read, passing this. If you've seen this resume that Spotify gives you, it's like a video and they pass it very quickly. So the most shared episode was my birthday episode. There was a giveaway there, so maybe more giveaways next year. Most of you gave me a 5-star review. Thank you so much. You're the best. You are absolutely the best. We have, because I like to talk in plural, this is our podcast. 81% more listeners, 105% more streaming of the episodes, 106% more of followers, 146% more of created minutes in the podcast. I've been talking a lot, I guess. Sorry, guys. We are in the top 10 of 90 fans, in the top 5 of 77 fans, and we are number 1 per podcast of 35 of our fans. Thank you so much. I know for some other podcasts, this statistic must be a joke, but for me, guys, because I do this with so much love every single week here in my house, in my studio, by myself. I try not to miss one week. Actually, my daughter yesterday was, because I've been sick. I've been going down. Everybody's been going down with the flu. It's winter. Everybody gets sick. So I wasn't feeling too good yesterday. And, Christmas is a very busy period. There's a lot to do. And my daughter was like, Mom, but it's okay. You can miss 1 week of the podcast. I looked at her like, what are you talking about? No, it's a compromise. We do not miss a week of the podcast. I think I missed it once or twice, and I probably released the episode in another day of the same week because I just couldn't. It's a personal thing, guys. I'm here for you, and it's my compromise. So thank you so much to all of you who are in the other side of this microphone, who are listening to the podcast, who keep showing up every single week, because this is for you, and thanks to you, you give me the fuel to keep being here every single week. And this is the little note that I want to leave before we start the episode about creative block. I'm going through one right now. It's not fun, but it's fun at the same time. And I'm going to explain why. So stay tuned because our episode is about to start. Okay, so before we start talking about creative block, what is to be creative? For me, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to read you the Google or the ChatGPT description of what is to be creative, because creativity for me, it's in my soul. I've always been a creative person. I have to create, build, construct, made things out of something. It's in my nature. It has been in my nature since I was a kid. I was always a very crafty person. My mom was a very crafty person. My grandmothers were very crafty women as well. So it runs in my genes, I guess. So for me, being creative is like breathing. I need to create. We usually have this conversation at home. Like, if you win the lottery, would you stop working? I will stop. I will quit my 9 to 5 job for sure, but I will not stop creating, and I will have more time and security to keep being creative without thinking about the money. That's all. But I'm gonna keep being creative because, and actually, the name of our group, Cake Friends Stay Creative, because creativity the has been the safe heaven. Has been like a life preserver jacket, I don't know how you call it, for people with when the pandemic hit, keeping us creative and together, keep us sane during those hard times, and keep us grounded. So creativity for me is like, it's breathing. I need to be creative. The highest expression for me right now of my creativity, because like I said, I've been creative all my life, since I was a kid. If it was either, I don't know, painting, drawing, sewing, embroidering, whatever it was, pottery, but I was always being creative. Right now, my creativity is expressed through a sugar paste with the creation of the modeling pieces that I usually do for either magazines or for cake collaborations, for competitions. And of course, while I was baking as a steady job, if we could say that, I was always in the creative zone, right? But it was for clients, it was like things to do. Since the pandemic, I hit a very high creativity peak during the pandemic because we were at home. We had not much to do. So I think most of my favorite work was created during that time. But then when everything started again and we had to go back to work and we had to go back to, paying bills and do stuff, it started to decrease because it started to be like, I don't have time for that. And I've seen through the years until today how much that has paid a toll in my creativity. And I think right now the issue is I'm having a creative block because, first of all, I haven't dedicated as much time as I should have, or if I could. It's like riding a bicycle. I mean, you never forget how to ride it, but if you stop riding it, it's going to be weird at the beginning. So it's like, I lost the momentum at some point, and I'm so focused in other things that I'm working a lot. I'm teaching a lot. I'm worry like everybody else. Worry. I'm not worried. I'm not going to say the word worry. I don't like that word. I'm occupied like everybody else, trying to, make a living, pay the bills, and do our lives like everybody else is doing it. So my inspiration got to, I don't know, maybe a second, third, fourth place. So my work is actually not inspiring anymore. I'm just working. And I've seen this mostly when I tried to do a creative work for a cake collaboration. And I have to be honest, I'm not being 100% proud of what I'm presenting lately because it had been in a rush. And I decided to pull out of some collaborations because of that, because I said, if I'm not doing anything that I'm proud of, even if you listen to the episode about Cake International, I wasn't 100% proud of what I did. And it had to do with the fact that I just did it because I had to do it, not because I was inspired. That happens to a lot of people, not only in our business as cake artists. The thing is, what to do when that happens. First of all, we need to realize that it's happening. I've done that already. And second of all, and that's what I'm doing right now, I need to take a break. Take a break and overthink whatever is happening and what brought me to the point where I'm currently on a creative block. So in the next part, I'm going to just share with you a few concepts and understanding the creative block, where it comes from, and what can cause it. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere. As your cake coach, I am here to help you. If you want to go a little bit further in your journey,
to organize your time, set clear goals, maybe teach, work on your mindset, or set a roadmap for results, especially for results and success, I am here for you. Why don't you book a free discovery call with me? I will be leaving the links here in this episode so we can chat, we can talk about what you really need, and we can see if we're a good fit for each other. Remember, I have just one mission in this cake world. First is to unite the cake community as one and to make you, my cake artist, my sweet friend, understand the importance of investing in you. Like I said, I will be leaving the links here in the description of this episode so you can book a 30 minutes free discovery call with me. And just remember, in case nobody said this to you today, I do appreciate you and I want you to stay safe and stay creative.
So let's understand, first of all, what is a creative block. In this part, I'm going to read, of course, the Google definition of what is a creative block. A creative block, often refers to as artist block or writer's block, is a condition where an individual finds it challenging to generate new ideas or produce creative work. It can affect individuals across various artistic and creative disciplines, including arts, writers, musicians, and in our context, cake artists. What causes the creative block? Could be many things. And here are a few of the things that I remember and a few of the things that I found as information. Lack of inspiration, difficulty starting or finishing a project, self-doubt and perfectionism, frustration and stress, feeling stuck, physical and mental fatigue, and resistant to exploration. All of the above could be reasons why you are currently having a creative block. So what I did is I stopped. I took a break, a long overdue break. I honestly, because I've been saying this for a long time, like, oh, I'm not doing cakes anymore. But still, I was doing some cakes from friends and family. But I decided, like, I'm going to stop. I'm honestly going to stop. And for me, Cake International, not feeling 100% sure about my participation was like the eye-opening event. It was like, yeah, I need to stop. I need to stop. I pull out of the rest of the collaborations that I was on this year. I'm rethinking a few for next year. I was thinking of creating another cake collaboration, Harry Potter, or any other topic. I'm gonna stop, and I'm dedicating right now to the things that I have to do, but nothing new, because I really needed to stop anything creative. I need to breathe. I need to breathe. I'm breathing every day, guys. You know what I mean. I needed to stop. Breathe and find what was happening. So if you're suffering right now, suffering sounds like bad thing, If currently you're into a block and you're a creative person, which means you're having a creative block, just stop as much as you can. If it's just one day, one afternoon, 1 week, just stop, take a deep breath, sit down with yourself and think, what's happening? What's happening to bring me to this place? What we need to know is that actually a creative block is a natural part of the creative process. That's the first thing. It's not the end of the world. It's not like you're not going to be creative anymore. It's a natural part of the creative process. And it's very common among artists, regardless of their medium of expression, What is important is to recognize that the block is happening, also to recognize that it's temporary, and even though it can be overwhelming, it can be overcome with patient strategy approaches, finding new inspiration, breakthrough to mental barriers, and inhibiting creativity. All of this can be changed. The first thing we need to do when I think in any problem, anytime we have an issue, is to normalize the fact that we're having an issue. I'm going to give you another example. My daughter, talking about my daughter again, she's not going to listen to this. I tell them to listen to this, but they don't. They should, but they don't. Anyway, my daughter, who's currently in college, she had to do a presentation the other day, and she was very nervous about the presentation, which went really well. I mean, she's my daughter. It's in her blood. She knows how to speak. But anyway, it went very well. But she was very nervous. She didn't sleep at all, and she was. As I asked her, "What's your fear?" And she's like, I'm afraid that people is going to see that I'm nervous, and I'm afraid that they're going to notice that I don't know, and I'm afraid if the teacher asks me something that I don't know." I said, well, normalize that. Just before you start the presentations, like, oh, well, here I am. I'm nervous. Let me just breathe. I mean, just make a joke out of it. If the teacher asks you something you don't know, just say that you don't know and promise that you're going to find out the information as soon as you can. And it's okay, because we fear what others might think are downsides are. We fear that others find out that we have an issue. So if we make an issue, if we normalize the issue, it's not going to be a fear anymore. So normalizing a creative block, I went all the way around to go to this. Normalizing a creative block takes away the importance of the creative block, and it's like you don't feel stuck anymore, because it's like, okay, it happens to me. And this is why I wanted to do the episode. It happens to me. It happens to all of you. It has happened, I mean, to every creative person I've known. So let's normalize the idea. And the second thing we need to know is, what are the triggers? What are the things that trigger this creative blocks? We know the reasons, or if you could, just sit down and think about the reasons I just gave you. And I can repeat it for you if you'd like me to. It's lack of inspiration, difficulty starting or finishing a project, self-doubt and perfectionism, frustration and stress, feeling stuck, physical and mental fatigue, that's my case, and resistance to exploration. So once you identified what's happening, then you normalize the idea that is happening, then you move on and recognize what triggers the creative block. And this is the next part of the episode. Okay, my sweet friends, so what triggers the creative block, and what can I do to shift that, to change that? This is the goal of today's episode, and this is what I want to share with you today. First of all, let's start by identifying our personal triggers. Whether it's stress, perfectionism, lack of inspiration, or external pressure, it's important to recognize what's happening and recognize it as a good thing, because whatever is happening is giving me this warning or this alarm or this red light to tell me, wait a minute, there's something you need to change. I don't know if it happens to you. Sometimes when you're too comfortable doing something, it becomes so automatic. First of all, you lose your momentum, you lose your ability to do things. Everything starts to be so automatic that you lose the soul in it. That's what I was feeling. And second, you get so comfortable that you start getting sloppy in it. That happens even with driving. I don't know if it happens to you. When you're driving, you get too comfortable driving. That's what things scares usually happens. Like, whoa, I was not paying attention. I was just way too comfortable. So these red lights are actually a good thing. I think I truly believe are a good thing, because those are the moments where life tells you there's something that needs to change. Just listen to whatever is happening around you. Is it a big pivot, a big change in your life? Like, I'm not doing cakes anymore and I'm going to go back to my corporate life, which I'm not. But anyway, something like that. Or is it, I need to rethink the way I'm doing things. I need to rethink what really matters to me, what really matters to my audience, to my community, what I really want to do for the next years of my life. I'm a constant change. I remember in one of the Tony Robbins workshops that I took this year, he was mentioned that as the world and the history is cyclical, so are we, and we have cycles of changes in our lives. And for me, it's about when I look back in my life, it's about 8 years, and the last 8 years, I mean, the last time those 8 years finished was, pandemic, Cake Friends Stay Creative, Cake Coach, all of that happened. So I'm in a moment of pivoting. So, okay, let me see what's going to happen from this. And I'm not going to take it as, this is the end of the world because I'm not creative anymore. No, there's something happening. I just need to listen. So I'm going to ask you, and this is what I ask myself. Is all of this actually a creative block, or am I just procrastinating? Is it actually lack of creativity, or is it that I really don't want to do what I'm doing or what I've been doing so far? Why is it happening? What is my fear? Because at the end of the day, and we saw that in the procrastination episode, it's all about fear. What am I fearing? Am I fearing the change? Am I fearing, doing something different, or being stuck? Because I could be fearing actually being stuck. I don't know. So first thing we need to do, I already mentioned about the things that could cause the creative blocks. Now I'm telling you how to recognize what triggers that creative block and ask yourself all of these questions. But I cannot let you go with this without telling you what we could do in order to improve this creative block and get out of it in the best way possible. And today's episode is brought to you by Delicious Magazine. The December issue is out now, and it's all about alternative Christmas. It's so much fun. You have to see the great tutorials that you have here. I mean, just the cover, it's amazing. Go check it. I will be leaving the link here so you can go and buy this magazine. You can get a copy and find tutorials, interviews, the features, the regulars, collaborations, competitions, plus get an exclusive and free 53-page CI supplement that includes everything that happens at Cake International, including the winners, the cake collaborations, and much more. You get over 150 pages of cakey goodness for only £3.75. So subscribe to the magazine. I will be leaving the link here in the description of the episode of Delicious Magazine. And stay tuned because the DMAs, the Delicious Magazine Awards, are coming and the nominations are out almost, and it's going to be epic. So stay tuned for the nominations of the DMAs, the Delicious Magazine's awards, and also don't forget to go and subscribe to this amazing magazine. Thank you, Delicious Magazine, for sponsoring today's episode. So what do we do, Christina? That's probably your question. Well, I'm going to call this mindset shifting. I told you this has to do with mindset and boost your creativity. Okay, but the first thing we need to do is to really shift that mindset of the issue that is happening. So I'm not going to give you this in any specific order. However, this first one is very important to do it first. Take a break. Step away from whatever you're doing, your workspace, your studio for a couple minutes, for a couple of hours. If you can't step away for like a day or a week, step away from whatever you're doing. Stop. Take a break. Because sometimes a change of scenery and some pauses can refresh your mind. So if you're working on a project, let's say it's a short thing, I'm working on a project, I'm stuck. Just stop, get out, take a walk, get some air, come back, and you will see it with different eyes. But if it's bigger than that, like right now, I just can't seem to sit down and take any sugar paste in my hands. I'm taking a break of a week if necessary, but I'm taking a break so I can rethink everything that's going on. Explore other art forms. This is another way to boost your creativity. Just engage with other kinds of materials like painting, drawings, sculpting, Sudoku, do something else that make you use your brain, or other forms of art. Not that Sudoku is a form of art. I just keep my mind busy. But other forms of arts that are not related to cakes and that, will get you back on track with with the creative part. You can seek inspiration outside of the kitchen. You can seek inspiration beyond cakes, maybe fashion, architecture, nature. Take a look at magazines, go to a gallery, do something different in order to see other kinds of art that is not cakes. Because we tend to be like, our Instagram is cakes, our Facebook is cakes, we are surrounded by cakes, we only have cake magazines. It's a lot of cakes. So just step away from cakes as much as you can. Experiment with flavors. Okay, let's say right now I'm not being creative with the sugar paste modeling. But you know what I've been doing? I've been baking pies. I love pies, and I love, especially this season in autumn, like a pumpkin pie, cherry pie. Well, cherry pie I'll do more in the summer, but anyway, red fruit, this berry pies. I love pies. So I've been doing pies. My family is very happy about it because I'm not doing sugar paste modeling toppers anymore, but I'm actually baking pies for them. Yesterday, I did a second recipe I've been exploring recipes of pumpkin pie, which is my favorite, and I did one yesterday. It was the best I've done so far. So just exploring with other things there is not what you usually do in the kitchen. That could help you. Another way to boost your creativity is, and I'm going to contradict myself a little bit in this one, but you can collaborate with others. What I mean with collaborate, not necessarily being part of a cake collaboration, but could collaborate with a friend. Let's say a friend of mine is also a cake artist or a cake decorator and needs some help just piping some cookies. Well, let me help you. Let me just get there and just chat with you for a while and help you with your cookies, and maybe just take my mind out of whatever I'm doing. That could be one thing. If you don't have any close cake friend that you could help out, maybe a friend who's cooking, or if you would like to be part of a collaboration, just be part of a collaboration where they will give you all the guidance of what you have to do. You don't have to think too much, okay? But you will be part of it. Another one is meditation. Meditation is really good. Now, however, I'm going to be absolutely honest. I'm a terrible meditator, if you can say that, because my mind gets all over the place. So meditation for me, it's hard. I've tried it for so long. Like, my mom is, I don't know if I told you, my mom is this, quite important person around the new age world in Latin America, Venezuela, and Spanish speaking people. She's a crystal therapist and sort of like a coach too, I guess. That's how I told you, runs in the family. And she meditates every day. She's very, very into all of that. And so I've been trying to meditate since I was very young, but it's not for me. It's like my mind gets all over the place. But I find that walking in nature, listening to some soft music, it's a form of meditation for me. Sometimes even, and it's gonna be contradictory again, but I used to do cross stitching, which is creative, and that for me was a form of meditation because my mind was so occupied counting the stitches that I had to really, lower my thought frequency, if you could call it like that. But if you're good at meditating, just meditate. Or breathe. Just practice some breathing exercise. That I do. Practice some breathing exercises so you can just, lower the rhythm of your mind and go back to your creative place. If you're still stuck, probably you are like me, review past work. It's good to go back and see of the things that we have done. First of all, give us perspective of how far we have come, which is good. And sometimes, and I have this project, I've been having this project in my mind for a long time. I haven't done it yet. It is to recreate old cakes that were really bad, but I thought they were excellent by the time that I did it. But when you look back, you're like, oh my God, I cannot believe people pay for these cakes. And going back and doing it again with the knowledge that I have now. But every time I go back and review my past work, it gives me a sense of perspective, and it kind of boosts that energy. Like, yeah, I really want to do it again. Another thing you can do is break down your creative process into smaller and more manageable goals. step by step. Instead of focusing on the big picture, on the finished work, focus on, okay, let's say you're creating a sugar paste modeling piece. Well, today I'm doing the structure. That's it. Tomorrow I'm going to do the bottom. The next day I'm going to focus on mixing the colors of the paste. I mean, just measurable steps, measurable goals that you can do little by little, and just keep focus on the next step instead of the big picture. Another thing that you can do is to change your daily routine, introducing new elements of rituals that can, serve as creative triggers. Like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, I like a meditation, like I just say, a walk, a long bath, I don't know, reading, something different that will, take you out of your routine, but that will boost your creativity. You can take classes and workshops. I'm doing that this time, or this year, not this year. I've been doing this for a long time now. But this time when I hit this bottom of creative block, I'm telling you guys, it's been hard for me. I haven't touched any sugar paste for, I'm going to tell you, well, I did a cake for a friend because I had to for my friend's kid, and it was in between classes. It was hard because I didn't really have the time. I was really tired. I was going down with the flu. My body was not 100%, and I was just worried that I wasn't gonna finish the cake. Anyway, I didn't enjoy the cake, but like sitting down to do creative work, I will say since Cake International, and I finished my piece for Cake International 3 weeks before Cake International. So we're talking about 2 months. 2 months that I don't sit down with anything new and creative. That's a long time for me. And I was started getting worried. That's why I created this episode today. That's why I sat down and found out as much information as I could about this. So do you know what I did? And this was my next point. I took a class. I enroll in online classes with Emma Jane. I went online to her classes, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna buy myself. I bought myself, I think, 2 or 3 classes, and like that's what I'm gonna do. So not have to sit down and do the classes, but I'm enrolling in the classes and I'm going to do it. That's something I'm looking forward to it. And I think it's going to boost my creativity because it's going to give me a perspective from a different teacher, from a different person. So enrolling in workshops or classes are a good way of getting out of your creative block. Another thing that you can do, my sweet friend, is connect with the community. And of course, you have Cake Friends Stay Creative, our sweet community, which has the word creative in it. So it's kind of the place to be when you feel that you need to share with some creative friends, find some inspiration, and just showcase your work. So connecting with the community is a great thing to do, because you start to see what other people's are doing, what other people are up to. You get inspiration from others. That is great. Another thing you can do is to keep a sketchbook or a digital tool that you can use in order to write down your ideas, because sometimes creative ideas come in the worst moment possible, or in the moment when we're not looking for it, because that's when our mind is at ease. So keep a sketchbook or a digital document where you can write down your ideas, and just keep a track of whenever creativity hits. Visit cake shows and exhibits like Cake International, and there are many more. I've been seeing a burst. I guess it's because we're finally out of whatever happened during the pandemic, so everybody is going back to their lives, and our creative world of cake decoration is the same. So they're coming like new events and new exhibits and new shows, and the old ones are coming bigger and better. So there's a lot of shows to visit and a lot of exhibits to see that will keep you very creative and entertained, and especially inside of the cake world, the current cake world. Another thing that you can do is revisit childhood memories. Thinking about your favorite memories, flavors, or themes, some nostalgia to think, when I was a kid, I wanted to do this and I wanted to, the cake that I had, or what inspired me when I was a kid. Kids are very creative, and when we were kids, our imagination was out of control. So go back to those childhood experiences and think about things that can trigger your creativity back on. Um, Creating an inspiring environment is also a good thing. Set the mood when you're going to work. Have a clean space, maybe with some natural light if you can. If it's not natural, at least well lit so you can see everything well. Light a candle, have inspirational phrases next to you, a picture of the people that you love. Make a nice environment for you to work in, and not just like, I'm in the kitchen again. So it's something nice that you will love to be where you are. And last but not least, embrace the constraints, because problems are going to happen, challenges are going to be there, but if you embrace them as part of the process, you're going to take the importance out of it. Like I said before, normalize the issue. When you normalize the issue, it's not an issue anymore. So this is some of the things that you could do in order to boost your creativity again. And if I had to go back and tell you what I think is the best one that you could do when creativity block hits, it's going to be rest. Definitely rest. Rest, step away from everything, take a break, take a deep breath, and really ask yourself what's going on, what's triggering this, and what is this situation telling me about what I need to do next. So, my sweet friends, if I have to give you a conclusion, is creative block happens to all of us. Creative block is a normal process of being creative, and is, as long as we normalize it, it's not going to be a big deal. Creative block is actually, I think it's actually a positive thing, because it will tell us, wait a minute, either you're getting too comfortable and you need to rethink your choices, or it's time for you to change. It's time for you to pivot. It's time for you to grow and expand in maybe another creative way. So it's a good thing. And like I said before, it's all about the mindset. It's all about how you face it. If I can give you a few more tips, or I'm not going to give you more tips because I already gave you a lot, but if I can recap some of the best tips that you can do in order to overcome this creative block, is first and foremost, take a break. Step away from everything that you're doing. Take a break for as long as you need it and rethink everything. Engage with other forms of art, explore sources of inspirations that go beyond cakes, collaborate, meditate, review past work, work in small and manageable goals. That's a really good one. And usually for me, for my Virgo mind, it really, really helps. Alter your daily routines, create a beautiful environment to work in, and embrace the constraints. Make it normal so you don't feel like it's the end of the world, I'm not going to be creative, because I'm telling you, I'm such a drama queen with myself. Because this is the thing, I'm not a drama queen with everybody else, but with myself, I will sit down in front of all my creations that I have here. Actually, they're behind me right now. I have two big shelves, like glass shelves with my creations, and I look at them and I will think, that was the prime of my work. I'm never going to do anything like that again. I'm terrible. And then I look at them and I talk to them. It's like, oh, you were the best work I've ever done. I don't think I'm ever going to do that again. But then the other voice, the other shoulder, I don't know if it's the bad angel, the good angel, but the other voice is like, Christina, just shut up. Just shut up and rethink whatever you're doing. Get away from everything, take a break, and rethink. And I'm sure you're going to get through this. Like I said, this podcast is my confessionary. And I'm just happy that I could share all of my craziness with you guys. So thank you so much for being here today and for listening to this episode. Thank you so much for bearing with me with my creative block. And I really, really hope that if you're having a creative block just like me, any of the things that I share with you today and what I have done to try to overcome it can help you. Thank you so much, my sweet friends. I say goodbye as I always say goodbye. Stay safe and stay creative. I'll see you next time. My sweet, sweet friend, if you like this episode, if you love this podcast, I will kindly ask you to leave me a started review, whatever you're listening to this episode, that is available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and I think a couple of other ones. But in any of those, just leave me a review. Leave me a couple of stars or 5 stars if you like it. So people will find this episode, the algorithm will put it out there, and more of our K community will benefit from it. Share it with your friends. Download the episode and share them. Share them on your social media and tag me because I will answer you back. Of course I will. And send me comments, send me your review, send me your feedback. Even if you don't agree with anything that I say, I would love to hear your opinion. You can find me in any of my social media accounts. I will be leaving the links here on this episode description. I'm on Facebook as The Art Cake Experience. I am on Instagram at Christina_The Art Cake Experience. Or you can even find me on YouTube, my YouTube channel, The Art Cake Experience channel. So thank you so much for listening. And please leave me your review and leave me your comments and your feedback. I would love to hear what you have to say about any of this episode.